In the next 22 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to land a healthcare product management role in 2026. Even if you have zero clinical experience, no product management title in your resume, and even if you're currently stuck in a clinical or an analytic role wondering, how do I make the jump? I've helped many people do this exact transition, and I'm about to walk you through the complete roadmap here today. Before we jump in, quick intro. I'm Jennifer Rist. I'm a senior global platform leader at a leading healthcare tech company where I manage cloud-based SaaS products. I've launched multi-million-dollar healthcare platforms, won 3 presidential Global Product Manager of the Year awards, and I've spent many years mentoring professionals through this exact career transition. So I'm not here teaching theory. This is what actually works in healthcare product management in 2026 based on real hiring decisions that I've been involved in and real success stories from people that I've mentored. And just so you know, you don't need to have a clinical background to do this. About half of the people that I've helped have zero healthcare experience before landing their first product management role. So if that's you, stick with me here today. Okay, first things first. Healthcare product management is not like regular product management. And if you approach it like a standard product management role, you are going to struggle. Here's why it's different. First and foremost, regulatory complexity. So you have FDA approvals, you have compliance, privacy and security measures, clinical safety. There's a lot of things outside of just the product that you need to be aware of. Every decision has regulatory implications, and you need to understand this landscape. Number 2 is stakeholder complexity. You're not just dealing with engineers and designers. You're managing doctors, nurses, administrators, C-suite executives, IT departments, and often maybe down to the patient level. Each group speaks a different language and has competing priorities. Number 3 is there's a long sales cycle. Healthcare organizations move slowly. Budget approvals take months, if not years. Change management is intense, and you need patience and strategic thinking. Number 4 is patient safety is always on the line. Your product decisions can literally impact someone's health outcomes. The stakes are higher here. And number 5 is unique metrics. You're not just tracking user engagement. You're measuring clinical outcomes, workflow efficiency, provider satisfaction, sometimes even readmission rates. There's so many things that products are doing in healthcare. The list is and can go on and on. So here's the good news. If you understand these different types of areas in a healthcare product management position and you position yourself accordingly, you immediately stand out from 90% of product management candidates who apply to healthcare roles with generic product management experience. So that is your competitive advantage, and I'm about to show you how to leverage it. All right, here's the roadmap in 5 steps. I'm going to walk you through each one in detail. These 5 steps in order will get you from I want to be a healthcare product manager to I just accepted a healthcare product management role faster than any other approach. So let's dive in. Step number 1 is build product thinking skills. Look, if you're coming from a clinical role, analytics, consulting, or another role, you probably have strong technical skills, but product management requires a different mindset completely. You need to think like a product manager, and you also need to demonstrate that thinking in interviews. Here's what product thinking actually means. User centricity. You are not building features because they're cool or because executives ask for them, although sometimes you do because there's some things that go on with different sales deals and different opportunities. So sometimes you have a little pressure there. Can't say that doesn't exist, but you're solving real user problems in general. In healthcare, that means understanding clinical workflows, provider pain points, and patient needs. Number 2 is business impact. So every product decision needs to tie to business outcomes: revenue, efficiency, cost reduction, patient satisfaction. You need to speak the language of business value. And you also need to think in lines of not only the business value to the customer, but also business value within your own organization and your business case. Third is trade-offs and prioritization. So you can't build everything. Product thinking means ruthlessly prioritizing based on impact, based on effort and strategic alignment. This is one of the hardest things to do as a product manager, especially when your backlog is overflowing. And number 4 is cross-functional collaboration. You are the glue between engineering, design, sales, clinical, executives. Product thinking means knowing how to align these groups. Cross-functional collaboration will either make you or break you. It is that important. And this cross-functional collaboration is important when you're prioritizing requirements and different items that you want to build within your product, because you need to know, do I have the right resources to be able to do what I would like to do? If you don't have much experience, here's how to build some of these skills really quickly. First and foremost, take any product that you use, an app, a website, a piece of software, and ask yourself, why did this product manager make this decision? Because somebody did somewhere. What problem were they trying to solve? And what trade-offs did they make? Number 2 is maybe read a product teardown. Study how experienced product managers analyze products. This is something you can even get off of AI, ChatGPT, and just really try to understand how decisions are made in the product management world, especially in healthcare. And number 3 is, if you are in analytics, start framing your work as product decisions, because they really are. Don't say, I analyze data. Say, I identified a user group or a user drop-off point. I recommended a product change, or I improved conversion by 15%. Speaking in those types of terms, you are training your brain to think like a product manager. And more importantly, you're building stories to tell in interviews. Step number 2 is position your experience for healthcare product management. So this is where most people really mess up. They have relevant experience, but they're framing it wrong. Here's what I mean. Let's say that you are a data analyst. Here's how most people describe their work. Analyzed user data and created dashboards for stakeholders, they'll say. Okay, cool. But that's an analyst. That's not a product manager. Here's how you should frame it. You identified a 40% drop in clinical workflow adoption through data analysis. You collaborated with design and engineering to simplify the interface. And you drove a product change that increased provider satisfaction scores by 25%. That type of verbiage. See the difference? Excuse me. The same work, but the second one shows user problem identification, cross-functional collaboration, and product impact. Here's the formula for repositioning your expertise. You look at the situation. What was the problem or the opportunity? The action. What product-oriented action did you take? Not just analysis action. The result. What was the business or the user impact? Go through your resume right now. Every bullet should follow this type of formula. And for healthcare product management specifically, emphasize things like any healthcare domain knowledge, stakeholder management, especially clinical stakeholders, the impact on workflows, patient outcomes or provider efficiency, and regulatory or compliance experience if you have it. The goal is to make the hiring manager think, this person gets healthcare. They've solved similar problems. They can hit the ground running, because that's what they want. Even though you're brand new to the product, brand new to the company, and you have that learning curve, having those type of skills helps you to get going faster. And that's what they're looking for, because they want you to get started. They want to be, putting you into a contributing role really quickly. Step number 3 is create your portfolio project. This is important, especially if you've never been in healthcare product management. This is the secret weapon that has gotten almost everyone that I've mentored in the past through the initial screening. If you don't have product manager on your resume, you need proof that you can think like a product manager. Everyone needs to start somewhere. We all start from ground zero. Enter the portfolio project, and it is a big lift. Here is what this is. You're going to pick a healthcare product, an app, a platform, a device, and you're going to write a product case study. It's going to show how you would improve it. Here's the structure. So section number 1 could be product overview. What it is, who uses it, what problem does it solve? The second section is user research. So who are the users? In healthcare, it could be doctors, nurses, patients, admins. What are their pain points? You can use online reviews, forums, informational reviews, interviews. You can also go on ChatGPT, go on AI, find out more information about this product. And also, third, opportunity identification. What is the biggest problem or missed opportunity? Why does this matter? Maybe business impact or user impact. Section 4 would be propose solution. So what would you build or change? Why this solution? Think of some alternatives. And what's the MVP or the minimally viable product? Show that you understand phased rollouts, because that's how a lot of things come to play. New to market products often go through this MVP type of phase before they move on. Section number 5 is success metrics. So how would you measure success? What types of KPIs would you track? So those key performance indicators. Section number 6 is go-to-market considerations. Who are the stakeholders? What's the rollout plan? What are the risks? What are the timelines? Now here is the key. You need to pick a healthcare product, especially for this task. Excuse me. Don't analyze Spotify or Instagram. Analyze maybe different telehealth apps, clinical decision support tools, patient portals if you have exposure to that, or different applications. Show that you understand healthcare. I've seen portfolio projects land interviews at companies that weren't even the ones that were analyzed, because hiring managers see this person thinks like a product manager. They understand healthcare. They're serious about this. And a pro tip here is make it visual. Use slides or a simple PDF. Include screenshots, wireframes, data if you have it. And when you apply to jobs, link this to your portfolio in your resume and to your cover letter. In interviews, reference it. I actually wrote a case study on improving patient portal adoption. I'd love to share my thinking if you're interested. Boom, you've got instant credibility there. Step number 4 is network strategically in healthcare tech. Here's the reality. Most healthcare product management jobs are filled through referrals or internal connections before they're even posted publicly. So if you're just applying on LinkedIn, you are at a massive disadvantage. You need to network, but not generic networking, strategic networking in healthcare tech specifically. And here's how. The first tactic is LinkedIn targeted outreach. So LinkedIn's a real hub for all professionals. So find healthcare product managers at companies that you're interested in working at. Send them a message like this. Say something like, "Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm transitioning from an analytics professional into healthcare product management, and I've been following the company that they work for in this area. I would love to learn about your path into healthcare product management. Would you be open to a conversation?" Short, specific, not asking for a job, just learning. Most people will say yes if you are genuine. Tactic number 2 is healthcare product management communities. So join a healthcare tech group on LinkedIn. There's a lot of them. Participate in discussions and make comments that count. Don't just give a thumbs up. Share insights. Be visible. When jobs open up, people will remember you. Tactic number 3 is attend healthcare tech events. So if you have the opportunity to attend HIMSS or ViVE or digital health conferences, if you can afford it, go. If not, there's also those virtual attendance opportunities as well that are really less expensive and often have networking options. Tactic number 4 is informational interviews with hiring managers. So this is advanced. I have used this. I've used this through my whole career, but they're really powerful. Find healthcare product managers that are hiring managers, maybe those vice presidents of product, directors of product, and ask for advice. If they like you, they will remember you when roles open up because people help people that they like, right? So here's the script I give many of my mentees. You could say something like, "Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm an analytics professional looking to transition into healthcare product management. I saw you're leading the product management team at this company. I'm not reaching out for a job. I'm genuinely trying to learn what to look for when hiring product managers are looking for candidates for healthcare products. Would you be open to a brief call? I'd really value your perspective." The key phrases here: you're not reaching out for a job, so it reduces pressure, what you're looking for and why you're hiring someone. It shows you're serious, and value your perspective, right? You're flattering them. I mean, oftentimes people come to me, I'm really flattered that they think of me as someone that can give them mentoring and advice. So I've seen this land coffee chats that turn into job offers maybe 6 months later because you're building relationships, not just asking for favors. And the final step is step number 5 is acing the interview. Step 5, you've landed the interview. Excuse me. Now you need to nail it. Healthcare product management interviews typically have 4 parts. Part number 1 is behavioral questions. So tell me about a time you managed stakeholders with competing priorities. Describe a product decision that you made with limited data. How do you prioritize features? So you could find a lot of behavioral questions in this niche and area if you look on maybe AI applications, ChatGPT. Just look for maybe some common questions that could be coming up in a behavioral stance when it comes to healthcare product management. Part number 2 is product sense, case studies. How would you improve, a certain healthcare product? Design a solution for a clinical problem. Maybe walk me through your product thinking. This is where you're going to want to know a lot about the company that you're interviewing with, the products that they have, so that you can kind of tailor it to what they do and what they may be looking for. Part number 3 is technical and domain knowledge. So what do you know about different types of security features, HIPAA, FDA regulatory requirements? Tell me about healthcare workflow challenges. And part number 4 is a cultural fit. So why healthcare? Why product management? Why this company? Where do you see your product management career going, right? Here's how to prepare. For behavioral questions, you're going to want to use something like the STAR method. So situation, task, action, and result. Have maybe 5 to 7 stories that are just ready in your back pocket that show things like stakeholder management, data-driven decisions, product impact, handling ambiguity, cross-functional collaboration. And for healthcare product management specifically, emphasize any healthcare domain knowledge, clinical stakeholder management, patient-centric thinking. This is really important. Most importantly, be concise and don't make your story lengthy. My suggestion is to write up exactly what you want to say and put it into an AI tool to sharpen the blade. Don't put it into ChatGPT and say, create this for me for my interview. Really be thoughtful. Sit down and think and put together your key points and use it to sharpen the blade and to make it more concise. So for product sense, practice with healthcare products. Structure your answer by clarifying the problem, identifying users, defining success metrics, brainstorming solutions, prioritizing and recommending, and discussing trade-offs. Don't just say, I'd build this feature. Show your thinking behind it all. And for technical and domain knowledge, you don't need to be an expert, but know the basics. HIPAA, FDA regulations, privacy and security, interoperability, systems talking to each other, different types of software programs, clinical workflows, how do doctors and nurses actually use systems. Even basic knowledge shows that you've done your homework. And for cultural fit, be genuine, but also show passion for healthcare mission, improving patient outcomes, interest in the specific company, research them. This is really important. You need to know what they do. And realistic career goals, growth, but not, I want your job in 6 months. Show that you have a great attitude as well, and that passion in your belly. I always say that, no matter who I'm interviewing, sometimes they might not have all of the skills, but if their attitude is good, if they are coachable, if they have growth in mind and they're looking to really make a career, they are the ones that really have captured me in past interviews. And here's the secret weapon. At the end of the interview, ask this question. Even if you have 5 different people you're interviewing with, ask each of them, based on our conversation, is there something about my background that would give you hesitation in moving forward? Bam. That needs to happen. And it needs to happen for so many reasons. I'm a straight shooter. I like to know, right? Some people you're interviewing with, they might feel bad or uncomfortable if you're not the right fit, so you may have that. But this surfaces concerns that you can address on the spot. Most candidates don't do this, and there might be something really small that can take you off of the list that that interviewer would bring up, and you can clarify that right away and move on. So, I've covered so much content in this video already. I'm sorry it's so long, and thank you for sticking around with me. However, I want to leave you with some common mistakes to avoid. I've seen people sabotage their healthcare product management transition with these mistakes. Mistake number 1 is applying with a generic product management resume. Don't send the same resume to every company. Customize for healthcare. Emphasize domain knowledge, clinical collaboration, healthcare outcomes. Mistake number 2 is not knowing basic healthcare terminology. If you say EHR in an interview and can't define it, that's a red flag. Learn the basics. Mistake number 3 is focusing only on tech skills. Healthcare product management is about people and processes as much as technology. Show you understand change management, clinical workflows, and stakeholder dynamics. Mistake number 4 is ignoring the business model. Healthcare has unique buyers, hospitals, health systems, payers, providers. Understand how your target company makes money. Mistake number 5 is not being patient. Healthcare moves slowly. Job searches take longer. Hiring cycles are longer. Don't get discouraged. Stay consistent. And mistake number 6 is trying to do it all alone. This is hard to figure out on your own, especially if you don't have the experience. So find a mentor, join a community, maybe get coaching. The return on investment is massive. So avoid these mistakes and you're already ahead of 80% of all of the other candidates. So let's wrap this up. You now have the complete roadmap to stand and land on your feet in a healthcare product management role in 2026. This works. I've seen it work many times over. It'll work for you, I promise, if you put in the work. And that's the most important part. So here's what to do next. First, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm posting weekly videos on healthcare product management, careers, interview prep, and real-world product management strategies. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. And second, if you want personalized help, resume reviews, interview prep, or full transition coaching, I offer one-on-one coaching as well and group programs. And third, leave a comment below. Tell me, where are you in the healthcare product management journey? What's your biggest challenge right now? What topics do you want me to cover next? I read every comment and I often create videos based on what you ask for, so let me know. All right, that's it. You've got the roadmap. Now go execute. You've got this. I'm Jennifer Rist, and I will see you in the next video.